We are in the month of February, which is Black History Month. During this time, many celebrate the significant contributions African Americans have made to help the United States become a great nation. The full story of blacks in America is being recognized by members of Congress who want to share the inspiring story of how a people who for more than 245 years were denied the American dream, but never gave up hope of achieving and living beyond the dream.
This bill will establish a commission to begin the planning process and activities across the nation to recognize the many contributions of African Americans since the arrival of Africans in the English colonies at Port Comfort, Virginia in 1619.
Congressman Bobby Scott of Virginia discussing the first Africans to America, explaining they were not on a quest for freedom, but were bound to a life of servitude when they arrived at Port Comfort, Virginia.
It's a story with a lot of pain to it, but it's also a story that has to be told in a way to commemorate that we as a nation, had it not been for 400 years of African Americans, you cannot think of anything, the United States would be absolutely unrecognizable.
Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia explaining why he introduced the 400 Years of African American History Act. Co-sponsors of the initiative include Senator Mark Warner, Congressman Bobby Scott, Don Beyer, all of Virginia, and B.K. Butterfield, chairman of the Congressional Black Caucus.
We've come a long ways in this country. It's a stain on American democracy, but thank God we are united now and we are moving forward as a nation.
The measure proposes to establish a commission that in 2019 would provide special programs and activities to acknowledge the pain and agony of blacks being brought to Virginia in 1619 and the millions who followed, shackled to the despicable practice of slavery until 1865, when slavery was abolished through the Emancipation Proclamation. But then racism and greed would keep blacks bound to an inferior second-class status through segregation. But their faith and spirit would not allow pride and prejudice to hold them down. Together with a drum major for peace and Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and others of courage, they rose above the struggle to gain equality and contribute greatly to America's greatness.
What makes our nation great, of course, is our diversity. But if we don't tell the full story of that diversity, you only get a piece of it. As they say, garbage in, garbage out. We need the facts in, the truth, the full context in, so we can truly understand the majesty that is our country and the real contributions African Americans provided throughout.
The congressional members who introduced the act are confident the measure, which has bipartisan support on Capitol Hill, will pass and be signed into law this year by President Obama. The commission, by the way, they add, will bring historians together to discuss, historians, not politicians, to discuss how African Americans significantly helped America in economics, the law, language, art, music, sports, public service, and, they say, spirituality. And good to point out, historians, not politicians. Yes. Because they probably wouldn't get very far. Not too far. That's why they went to the commission. Great story. Really great story.